What is up? How are you all doing? We have a Division 1 match here between Metro Wipeout and Ethereal, and some rather interesting circumstances going into this. I'll go over that shortly, but yeah, welcome along. I'm Jaggy, and I'm joined by Jack.
Hello, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone is excited for this very high-stakes match between Ethereal and Metro Wipeout.
Yes, high stakes for Ethereal, though, because we have finally been seeing a crack or multiple cracks in their seemingly invincible facade, because they have lost their last two, Jack. They have lost against Kidatolic Gaming and they've lost against Wollywugs just an hour ago, actually. What are your
So
thoughts?
there, yeah, it's definitely good to see some other teams stepping up and taking down the giant that was Ethereal in the spring split, looking pretty much unbeatable. I think only dropping one match to Veil in finals. Definitely looking a lot weaker now.
Yeah.
So,
If we look at the standings, Metro Wipeout 4-0. They already have first seed locked because there are 2 games ahead of second place, and second place right now is Kidatolic Gaming. So Ethereal, if they win here, they'll have third seed locked. If KG beats CB week 5, they'll only get third seed. If it's CB beating KG, it'll be second seed for Ethereal if they win. If they lose, though, it is possible for them to get fourth seed because WZ will proceed ahead of them in the if there's a 3-way tie between Ethereal, WZ, and either CB or KG. So a lot of stakes here for Ethereal. So actually, we're going to be starting right away. Don't really have too much time to talk about the lineup, but both teams throwing out their best lineups in this case. It'll be a very interesting match to watch. And we're starting off here at Coconut Mall.
yeah, so I'm pretty sure this was definitely a Ethereal pick as they were starting in 2-4-6-8, I believe. Might also be an MW pick. I know it's good for 1-3, but nevertheless, we see a Crash starting out here in 5th, getting readied immediately, dropping back down to 8th.
I like that Nana attempt. I like that Nana snipe attempt. He barely misses out on Fox, and then he gets redded out anyway. But it looks to me like a bottom 2 already for Ethereal, and if it remains this way, then we're gonna have to see Bobby having to start to risk chaining those boxes in 9th.
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see if Crash can get a star, which he does, which is a really good item for him
Music's a
here.
little loud, Monyz. But yeah, the star in 8 for Crash here. It's a double-edged sword. I mean, I'd chain this honestly, but it's up to interpretation here. Crash, if he holds on to this, he's going to have to be cognizant of the fact that he's gonna fall really far behind here. And if the other team ends up pulling the shock, he's kind of stuck.
Yeah, we see Hawk, Shroom up, taking the full cut with her Shroom legal and her triple Shrooms up into those top spots. So we also see Faisal dropping into 7th. So it looks like a 5-7-8 right now for Ethereal, pointing to a lot of top spots for a Metro Wipeout, which is good on this track, which is quite a run-heavy track. But Crash opting to chain a star, Faisal and Crash both dodging. Crash chaining the perfect item here with a golden mushroom, probably going to get him into first once he takes the cut up here.
Yeah, very good position here with this golden as well.
Yeah, top 3 right now for Ethereal with Noctil holding them first. We see Crash take the golden strat here. Faisal also probably going to be either using triple Shrooms or a golden to get in these top spots. Looks like Team Lee had a single Shroom or triple Shroom, so it's going to still be a top 3 for Ethereal here.
And I saw someone spinning out in the mini map too, so the top 3 is going to get further solidified here. A little bit unfortunate that MW weren't able to snag the shock there, considering that Bobby was in position to just start risking those boxes. They were falling behind, but now it's going to be an Ethereal top 3. This is what they need to start off with.
Yeah, I also think Jeff might be in 4th because earlier lap 3, I saw a bunch of players spin out in the back, like bottom
Yeah, I
3
saw
spinning
third.
out.
Third, it was Noctil that ended up getting screwed over by the POW. I think got POWed into a car there, so Fox was able to overtake, but still top 2-4 for Ethereal.
Yeah, I think Jeff was definitely back there slagging those MW members because near the end of that lap, the pack was definitely very spread out. Faisal and Crash definitely had a large lead in those top 2. So good job from Noctil and Jeff slagging those bottom members and maintaining their spots. And good job to Bobby getting that shock. Using a kind of unorthodox shock last set lap 2. Usually you see first set lap 3, but working out for them really well, getting a top 2 top 2, 8, 9. And my mistake, Jeff isn't even in the lineup. I don't know why I said Jeff, but Hawk was back there slagging those
Right.
bottom spots for MW.
And that early shock was definitely to get like a mega out of Metro Wipeout. I don't think they were in positions to grab stars there. They were bottom spots the entire time. Ethereal, maybe one of them, one of MW had a star in the first couple sets, but yeah, just using that shock there, even though they were falling behind, it's still a sort of unpredictable shock because if you're a runner for MW, you you kind of get a little hesitant to use a shock that set, because if it doesn't happen there, then you lose your dodge. So it was an unpredictable shock still for Ethereal, and they were able to snag those top spots.
Yeah, we see TF coming out from Ethereal. Definitely a really good track for their spots. Top 2-4. Pretty much perfect spots for TF. We see MW opting for BC3. A lot of their players are confident in Ultra, with Leops and Barney notably being very consistent Ultra takers on Funky. So we'll see they're going to be able to get their pick, which I think they do. Yeah, so they get BC3. So we're definitely going to be seeing at least 1 or 2 of MW members going for Ultra. It'll be interesting to see if any Ethereal members can test them at Ultra and try to prevent them from taking it.
Or maybe even block it altogether. We saw that with CB versus MW. We saw it actually prove going forward as a bagger to block the Ultra. Maybe a bit of a, maybe a bit too ambitious, but still the main key here is to try to block MW taking cut, because at least 3 of their runners are very consistent. I know Fox and Barney are very good at it.
Yeah, so we'll see if there's any Ultra takers. Yeah, it looks like the cut was actually yeah, it looks like a lot of the cut was actually unblocked. So it looks like at least 3 or 4 players take the cut. Looks like a mix of both Ethereal and MW members. Looks like Hawk is holding down first or second. We see someone been out in third.
And
Interesting to see.
It was an interesting idea there for Ethereal to unblock there, because MW could have easily taken the cut, but I think Ethereal were mainly predicting that MW would go for Ultra. Looks like Noctil got bumped off there from Fox.
Yeah, it actually looks like Leops is pretty far ahead in first. So it looks like one. Oh wait, no.
Xander's going for it.
Yeah, Xander makes it pretty cleanly, so he's gonna be first. I think Leops was actually in 8th. I think the what's it called? The battle glitch just messed up.
Right away, Blue comes down into Xander. I still think he's gonna keep first here, unless Hawk maybe has a red. He actually dodges it, so he went for Ultra with the Shroom actually. So props to Xander there. He could have easily gone for like the regular cut there, but
yeah, we see Fox.
Securing is first.
We see Fox pull TC in 4th, gonna get raided by Crash. So looking like a 1-3 right now for MW, unless there's another blue or a TS. MW basically guaranteed first. I'd like to see Hawk try to back Barney and get Ethereal into 2-3.
We see some jukes in the bagging battle here. I think like 2 or 3 times. Another juke. Here we go. I'm trying to see who ends up securing the shock here. We saw multiple
Crash going to a mega.
Roy. Yeah, Roy's holding onto the shock here. Interesting idea.
It's bummed, so it's gonna fail the I don't know why he went for that, because he definitely didn't have a good angle for the cut. Dodges in the respawn though. Look both. Okay, Leops stars and makes the Shroomless.
That was a really good work there to make the Shroomless from Leops there. Do you understand really the intention behind Crash's? I think he stopped in a mega instead of taking the cut right away. He could have maybe gone for the cut in case there was a shot coming in from MW TSing the players there, but yeah, I'm not really sure what Crash's intention there was.
Yeah, it looks like top 2, bottom 2 for MW, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I think Xander was definitely able to hold first, and Leops dodging in a star and making the cut. I think he probably got second, but I did see Fox and Barney in the bottom 2. So not the worst from Ethereal, but definitely could have been better.
Indeed.
Oh, actually a 1-3 bottom 2. So Hawk managing to keep his second after Leops dodging up. So good job from Hawk maintaining those top spots for Ethereal. And I think that's a pretty close race in terms of points. Probably like plus or minus 1 for one team.
Right. And I'm trying to see, I know Crash failed the cut, but I'm trying to see if there was anything else that happened in the minimap. If someone from MW potentially failed cut. No, Fox didn't go for it, but he ended up, remember when he got greened earlier? I didn't point that out, but he got greened off the track. He got greened over the split in the road there. So that's how,
That's unfortunate. So we'll see what tracks Ethereal is going to opt for. I'd like to see maybe RBC. They're an opt for Koopa Cape. That's also a pretty solid pick. We see DDR coming up from MW. Really good spots for this track, considering they have 1-3 good running spots, and then bottom 2 for Goldens and Shrooms.
Yeah, and DDR, 1-3 can just sandwich that second and make it really difficult for him to make sand hop. It's a really bad position to start with if you're in second.
And we see Koopa Cape coming out from Ethereal. Probably going to be opting to get some Shrooms, and basically the 4, 5, 6 spots. Probably going to see them drop and try to get some triple Shrooms to get in the front. We'll probably see Xander try to stay in the front, run up there for MW, because this track does have running potential if you're able to avoid the cut takers. But Crash does pull a golden, which is the perfect item here. Probably going to get him out to an early break in first.
And he's going to be able to protect himself for now because Xander doesn't have a red now. He might go for a box. Xander wasn't first that entire race. I think Crash is safe for now. And he pulled triple nanas anyway to secure himself. The red does come out in the end. I think Xander did get a box on the left-hand side ramp, but Crash is safe here for now. Roy's I picked up the star. I think that Bobby dropped for Crash there. So preventing Crash from taking the car.
Yeah, good heads-up play. We see a really big break from Xander and Crash between the rest of the pack. I saw like 3 or 4 seconds at least between first and second and the rest of the pack.
Xander really wants to get Crash out of first by any means necessary. He threw both of his nanas there and didn't connect on either one, but I like that considering that MW, I believe, are occupying third as well, if that's the case.
Yeah, third also getting kind of a breakaway from the rest of the pack. Very interesting to see who that is. Because at this point, it's going to be really hard to catch those top 2. So the mid pack is definitely going to be pretty important in getting those other spots. We'll see if any bagger can be able to drop a star for Xander or Crash. Because if Xander can pick up a star, he might be able to overtake first. Yeah. We do see a star come out from Crash. Narrowly misses it though. So
Xander was in his way there. Now Xander, I think, maybe in position. Yes, he picks that up. It's going to be a risky set.
And dodges. Yeah, so that's another basically guaranteed first from MW. Xander's going to be gone. It'll be interesting to see because I'm sure a lot of MW members also got into boxes with that shot, so they're probably going to be able to come up in shrooms as well.
And in that case, if you're Crash, I would have liked to see him just slow down a little bit just in case the Zapper got in his way of picking up the star there. He had separation from Xander so that if he slowed down a little bit, he wouldn't have lost any speed, really, because I mean, he would have lost a little bit of speed, but he would have still had first by quite a bit if he slowed down a little bit to try to avoid the Zapper instead of overshooting the star.
Yeah, good heads-up play from Xander there. It looks like, I think Noctil may be in third. It's either Noctil or Fox. They're definitely in 3-4, respectively. It'll be interesting to see what places the rest of the pack gets, because throughout this whole race, we've only really been able to see the top 2. So I think, yeah, Noctil's in third, so Crash is going to stop on the line. We see a blue coming in. Not going to affect him that much, but it looks like maybe a 2, 3, 4, 5 coming in from Ethereal. We do see Shock at the end, though.
Yeah, that might have been another Shock coming in from Metro Wipeout to get themselves into boxes, although I don't think that really did much for them.
Yeah, I think they're also trying to Shock Crash on the line so that blue would hit, but it didn't really do that much in terms of getting Crash out of those top spots. Fox may have beaten a Hawk and gotten 5th, but nevertheless, it does look like a 2, 3, 4 for Ethereal, so definitely a winning race for them. Oh wait, actually Fox managing to come into 4th. Still a winning race though. 2, 3, 5, 6 for Ethereal. And
Fox was able to dog that 4th there. And yeah, for those of you guys coming in, actually, Ethereal are in a bit of a hole here. They are 2-2 as they lost their weeks 3 and 4 matches, and technically this is a week 1 match that they never played. So Ethereal must win position here in order to secure 3rd seed maximum. They can't get 4th seed or below if they win here, but if they do lose, they can potentially get 4th seed depending on KG and CB's. Already though, they are starting to pull away just a little bit though, not too much. There's still a lot of Mario Kart left. There are 9 races to go. I'm interested to see what E are gonna pick here.
Yeah, they're up 21 going into race 4. 2, 3, 5, 6. Not really the best spots for any tracks. They're gonna opt for GV. Like GV is a pretty solid track for almost any spots that aren't like top 2 or top 3. So definitely could benefit them. We see MW opting for Wario's Golden Mine, another pretty like rare pick. But nevertheless, we see GV getting picked for Ethereal. Probably gonna be seeing Crash and I think Noctil maintaining their 2-3, trying to contest Xander, maybe pulling a Shroom in 2nd or 3rd, while Hawk and Faisal drop back and try to get triple Shrooms or Goldens to take the rock with.
And I'm going to pay a little bit of attention to the bagging battle at 30 seconds while people take the rock off and whatnot, because some of those exchanges can be really key. Like, okay, Xander, I like that pick right away.
Yeah, it gets Fox and Crash, so probably definitely worth it. Nice snipe coming out from Fox, getting Crash into the 8th place. We'll see what he pulls. Pulls a star. Yeah, Ops just chained it right away, trying to pull something like triple Shrooms, which he does, which is basically the golden ticket on this track. Definitely a guaranteed top spot, but Shrooms away from the TC.
TC pass there from Fox doesn't connect here. We see Crash taking the rock. Both baggers are, I believe, yeah, one bagger just fell off with the bill, but the other bagger I think is chaining stars. So pretty even trade-off right here. And another TC coming out from MW.
Yeah, Crash being forced to burn all his triple shrooms. So even if Xander gets TC'd there, that's honestly not that bad for MW, considering Crash had like basically triple shrooms in fourth, which would have guaranteed a really good spot for him.
I think he could have held that last shroom there because that
Yeah.
like it was the end of the TC for Xander there. I think he would have avoided it without the shroom. But hindsight's 2020. He's gonna be trying to block Barney off here from taking the rock, and Barney makes respawn, but not the rock, probably due to the nanas.
Yeah, so 2-3 coming in from Ethereal. I think 1-4 for MW. Crash pulling a really good shroom here. If Ethereal have the shock here, this is basically guaranteed first place for them. Noctil getting Nan. Oh wait, never mind. Just lags out of it. But I think Noctil did get Nanded, considering he's falling back a little bit. Does get Nanded there actually. Oh, looks like a bomb hits like everyone.
Oh man.
In the back. So a lot of people are going to be losing shrooms there. A lot of people are gonna fall in the back. Spots are gonna change. We see Crash going for cut in second. We'll see if the shot comes out. Yeah, shot comes out. I assume it also dodged in another Ethereal member.
Yeah, yeah. I saw an E-name flash up for a second there. Ethereal just wanted to wait for them to take cut as well. Well, no, actually, Leops. Was that Leops?
Someone got blued on the line, I think.
It was Leops, but was it Leops dodging instead, actually?
It might have been. It might have been an MW shock, actually, because we see 2-3-4 coming out from MW. So maybe they thought they were going to get Crash out, because it was pretty close, but... Or maybe they just wanted, maybe they were just trying to dodge their 2-3-4 anyway, but they might have wanted to hold shock later. I don't know. Very confusing shock. We'll see what the rest of the spots are for these teams, but looking like a favorable MW race.
Indeed. And if someone could confirm in chat, that'd be wonderful, because I didn't see either bagger spin out either. And like when I darted my eyes to the minimap, so it was hard to tell whose shock that was in the end. But yeah, Monyz, turn me up, brother. It was an MW shock. Okay. Did dodge Crash inadvertently there, but I think MW were just trying to TS Ethereal players going for it behind them. So they were just trying to secure 2-3-4 in that case.
Yeah, definitely. They might have been able to get top 3 there if they called Crash out. I don't know what the circumstances were surrounding that shock, but definitely had the opportunity to get a much larger race than they did. I think it was still like a +12 race for MW.
Yeah.
But could have been a lot more.
Yeah, I guess in that case, it was either going to be a 2-3-4 for MW or like a top 2, maybe 5, 6 or something, considering that that 2 of them were going for cut and one of MW were in like 3rd or 2nd or you know, they were still running up, but it was a judgment call there. They just decided to secure that safe 2-3-4 and TS the Ethereal players outside behind them.
Oh yeah, maybe like Hawk or one of them went into the cut at the same time as Fox, so maybe they didn't want to like risk dodging more players, or maybe they were just TSing Hawk in the first place. So one thing to note for Ethereal while we're waiting for the room to start is there's been no Jeff in the past 2 matches. So definitely their star player, their shot caller, their leader, really. Evidently hurting them in the last match, showing that they have no Jeff and losing to Volleyball. So, who do you think's been stepping up recently and filling that void that Jeff has left?
Well, I haven't really seen Ethereal much as of late, but if we're talking about numbers and points being put up on the board, then I'd say Faisal and Kane have been doing that. If we look at their past matches, let's say against AV, we saw Faisal scoring 114, we saw Noctil scoring 100, Jeff scoring 115, and then going back to the match against CB in week 2, Ethereal versus CB, it was Hawk actually putting points up on the board there, but for the most part, we see pretty much all of them actually have been doing their part. But as for the match against KG, it was a Kane actually scoring 75, Hawk scoring 69. So it's been in and out for Ethereal. Actually, I don't think any one of them have been standing out. I think some of them have been playing well whenever they needed to, but then at times they dropped points. So
Yeah,
um,
I think another player also to shout out is Crash. Like Crash dropped, I'm very sure, like a 115, 120 against Wollywogs, even though they lost, still putting up the big numbers, running a lot, and in his first GP against MW, MVP scoring 45. So also stepping up in that running department, staying in the front, or when they get shocked, being able to get those dodges and just get to the front either way. So definitely also a player to give credits to for this Ethereal team. We see Goldmine coming out for Ethereal. Interesting pick considering they're starting in 246. Known Wars are running track, but we'll see if it can benefit them.
WGM staple Ethereal track pick, obviously, and they are starting 1-3. Similar situation to DDR. Second place can kind of just get bumped around a little bit. It's a bit annoying, but Fox was able to actually overtake. Did you see what happened to first there?
He might not have gotten a good startup boost, or maybe just got bumped at the beginning. Like this track, the beginning is just really hectic.
And Fox actually backs a fib wide on the landing there. That was actually a really good fib placement because naturally the runners will go wide to avoid a tight back spam. But then, yeah, naturally the runners will land wide. So instead of backing before the ramp there, he backs after.
Yeah, we see Crash stopping for an 8th place box, maybe showing that he has confidence in Bobby getting the shock, even though Bobby is in 9th at the very beginning of this bagging battle. So Roy is going to be getting that first box in 10th. Looks like Bobby's actually going forward, so either opting to chain boxes or has a shock altogether.
I honestly think he has the shock altogether. I don't think he would go backwards that early in the bagging battle. Because you can pull bills, and if you fall off with bill in this track, you lose a lot of time, because typically your respawns going backward are not the best.
Yeah, and
so I just
Roy,
think it's Bobby holding on to this right now.
Yeah, I think Roy just confirmed your beliefs, because he did just fall off with Bill like twice.
Yeah,
and it was stopping again.
It was a 50-50, I believe, 50-50 exchange. They both hit boxes at 30, and Bobby was just able to get it right away.
Yeah, that's so really good for Ethereal, because we do see Noctil in bottom 2, but MW making up all these middle spots, so maybe a top 2 bottom 2. Crash is going to be forced into the star here. We'll see if they're going to call it. I assume they would potentially call it here. Maybe get Noctil into boxes. Yeah, so they get Noctil into boxes, or maybe just dodges altogether. Pulls a blue, opting to hold it, showing that Ethereal are most likely in first with Hawk. Yeah, Hawk coming into first. So top 2 coming out from Ethereal. We're probably going to be seeing Noctil and Faisal come up as they were shocking into boxes or potentially dodged into Mega. Looking like a huge race for Ethereal.
Yeah, and I think I think he either grew and hit the trail from Hawk, or Hawk just slightly slagged. That's a bit of a flub there from Crash. I still think he's going to be able to keep second. There's going to be a TC coming in for Xander. Yeah, still top 2 for Ethereal.
Like him to look, yeah, we see Noctil actually getting third. Looks like a top 3-5 coming in from Ethereal. So good job on Bobby getting the shock, and a lot of Ethereal members getting those dodges and being able to come up. So good coordinated shock from Ethereal, getting them a really big race here.
Indeed. Yeah, maybe the race could have been slightly better if whoever was starting off in first. I'm trying to look back to see what exactly happened, if he burned out, because I actually didn't see the first 2 seconds of the race there. It was actually MW starting off in 1-3. Yeah, actually, so never mind. It was Fox starting off in first. Apologies. Ignore me. I thought Ethereal was hosting, so don't mind me there.
Yeah, so I was interested because Ethereal were 2-4, so I don't know why they picked that, but it worked out for them in the end.
I'm interested to see the track pick that's going to come out next, because they are top 3. BCW is probably going to be a good option here.
Yeah, BCW or maybe Moonview Highway, but they do offer BCW.
Yeah, there's BCW coming out. In terms of the bagging, I believe Roy is more consistent in Hawkstrat than Bobby is. So it's going to be an interesting bagging exchange to look at there. But the spots are definitely, it definitely screams BCW. You know, top 3 can take the boxes. It'll make it very hard for MW to spam items to get up there. And so, yeah, Gardens actually comes out though.
Yeah, so good track for MW. I'd like to see at least 2 of Ethereal members drop back, try to contest those mid to bottom spots, getting shrooms. This is also a track that has a lot of 50-50 in terms of bagging. Who's going to take the risk, get that first box? Are you going to get it in 10th before 30? You're going to wait to 30? A lot of mind games going on this track as well.
We are still fixing the scores here, but it looks to me like Barney was able to cheese a shroom there. Not very many others do, though.
Yeah, it looks like Ethereal potentially 6-8 right now. I'm not sure what the other top spots are. We do see a lot of MW members in the front. Probably potentially
Looks
top
like
3 actually.
Hawk hits a chain chomp as well, so that's gonna solidify their top 3 a little bit more.
Yeah, not the best at this point. If some of them have shrooms up there, then this is really good for them. If none of them have shrooms, then and if Bobby can pull shock, this will be really good for them. We see one bagger hit the chain chomp potentially with the build, so we'll get to see here who's in 10th bagging wise. It looks like Bobby's in 10th, so this is really good information for Ethereal. They're gonna need a shock here to break up these top spots. We see Crash pull triple shrooms.
Ooh, yes, there it is.
Yeah, shock comes out immediately, dodging Noctil into Mega. Potentially going to be taking over first here. We'll see if Crash can pull some sort of shrooms to potentially get a top 2. He's going to target Pal Leops potentially.
Early, yes, that's a good Pow spot there. Right on that flower bed section. If you get Pow right after it, you can hit the wall. If you get Pow right before it, you kind of get hit in the flower bed and lose a lot of speed. I think in that case, it was before the flower bed. Leops lost a lot of speed there. So it's going to be a top 2 now for Ethereal, top 2-4 maybe. I don't know if Hawk's holding something.
Yeah, another thing to note is Bobby is intense, so there might be time for a second Ethereal shock, which could be really good for them at the end. See a drop star coming out. Yeah, I'm not sure whose star that was or from where that was.
Where was that drop? Actually.
Yeah, that was interesting. We do see Fox in first though, 2-3 for Ethereal. We see some baggers going forward, so there might be a last-second shock here, maybe getting people into boxes. We see Reds coming out on Leops. Shock coming in. We'll see if anyone dodges up. Might be an MW shock, because I'm pretty sure a lot of MW members were back there, potentially getting them into boxes. Looking like a 1-3-5 coming in from MW, so really mixed race for them.
Yeah, I'm really confused about that star, though.
Yeah, I have no idea where that was from. Maybe an MW member dropped it at the shot clock too and just didn't want to go back and get it.
Yeah, that's probably the case there. I was gonna say if Noctil somehow just didn't dodge the blue, I don't know what might have happened there, but yeah, it was a really weird occurrence there.
Yeah, I think he like dropped an in or something when the blue came, so I think it might have been. It actually looks like a good race for Ethereal, getting all the spots behind 1-3. So gonna extend their lead even more. It looked like a 2-4-5-6-9. So I think that's +1.
Yeah, not too big of a race.
I thought it would be bigger than that, but still good.
Yeah. MW and for those of you coming in, MW already clutched first seed, but it would still be nice for them to come out with a win, finish 5-0, and basically just solidify their place as the first team going into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you never know, they could lose to Ethereal, and keep in mind Ethereal are first in the leaderboards overall in terms of CP. So if they lose to Ethereal, maybe that could be the difference between MW getting second and first overall in the leaderboard going into the playoffs.
Yeah, this match is like two different stories. MW really have nothing to lose, while Ethereal have everything to lose. So
absolutely,
we see Ethereal coming out strong, up by 42 going into race 7. So coming out strong, probably trying to avenge their last match where they lost to WZ. It was a pretty close match, if I'm not mistaken, only around like 20-point deficit. So they're probably upset about losing that one and coming back strong against the top team in the division. We do see Parkway coming out from Ethereal. Really interesting pick for them. We'll see if it'll benefit them in the long run. Giving a lot of pressure on Bobby, but also a lot of confidence in Bobby to get the shock, as the cannon on this track is very overpowered, and the shock benefits whichever team gets it more than most tracks.
Yeah, Fox able to take a couple of boxes there. That was smart from him to just kind of weave his way around that set and prevent Crash from getting a box. Fox opting to hold his fib, though, until after the cannon, potentially.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, good slag from Fox. Going a little wide there as Crash goes tight, able to get him with the fib. So triple shroom for Crash, pretty decent item. Opposite bargain a shroom to get past the two MW members. So it looks like a 2-3-4 coming in from Ethereal. It'll be interesting to see if any of these 2-3 members have shrooms to overtake Fox.
And I'm interested to see if any back spams will come out from Fox here, because this is a prominent red spot. If he gets rid of any of his protection, the red will just come around the corner, sneak around.
Yeah, we do see a rock, but doesn't. I think he threw it too late, so wasn't able to connect on Fox.
Or maybe
Oh,
Fox had protection regardless. That was kind of an iffy cut there from Crash, though. He had to burn his last room to negate that lost speed from hitting the pole there.
Yeah, it looks like a top 2-4, maybe top 3 coming in from MW, top 3 coming in from MW. Pretty good spots for them. Yeah, top 2-4 actually. It'll be interesting to see who has Shock, because Shock can just change spots really fast. We do see a blue coming in on Fox.
Oh,
But good snipe from Barney, making Crash burn 2 of his shrooms actually to
Bomb
catch
comes
back
out.
up into 4th. MW still holding down 1-3, so yeah, go ahead.
Did that bomb hit Fox? Because I know he got blued, so I think he got combo bombed after that. Barney backing that fib, though.
Another blue though for Ethereal, gonna get Xander out of first. We do see one bagger sitting at sets. Another one looks like they're running forward with the pack, so maybe holding a star, trying to drop a star.
Shock's,
Shock,
Shock's in play here.
yeah, Shock will most likely be coming in around here. We see first dodging up, Noctil dodging as well. I think Hawk might have dodged up in first potentially.
Yeah, it was after that second blue, I believe it was an Ethereal player getting that first. Yeah, Hawk dodged there. That was an Ethereal Shock coming in there. And oh man,
blue.
Ethereal 2 blues and now holding a blue for Hawk. That is a little unfortunate for Metro
insane.
Wipeout.
Yeah, and Xander dies, so top 4 coming in from Ethereal while holding blue. If 5-6 can pull like triple shrooms or something, it could benefit them and overtake these spots.
Yeah. But it's still going to be a top 3, even if Xander comes up. Actually, maybe Xander is able to overtake third there, but still, I believe a top 2. Worst case for Ethereal, top 2-4.
Yeah, I think Noctil might have gotten 4th or 5th. Might have gotten bumped or something on the line. Yeah, still a really good race for Ethereal. Getting kind of lucky pulling 3 blues and the Shock, but making the most out of it, turning the top 3 from NW around into a big race for Ethereal.
Indeed. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what the bagging battle was looking like there, because I know both baggers were neck and neck going into lap 2 for the runner side. But I'll just take a look real quick at the VOD. Metro Wipeout are in a bit of a hole. They're gonna have to. I mean, they're not playing too poorly. It was a little unfortunate for them to receive a couple of blues there, but they just have to keep working here. They have to keep grinding.
Up 2, 5, 8, 9.
Sherbet Land coming out here now. And what would you do if you're Ethereal? Would you just try to run up and or would you maybe have 5th drop for an 8th place box, 4th drop for 5th place?
Well, all of them miss out in the box anyway. We'd like to see 5th and 8th, try to get a golden or at least triple shrooms at the very least to get in those top spots. Well, top 2 run. Because this track is definitely runnable if you can back your opponents and just maintain your spots. You see Hawk dying.
Yeah, Metro Wipeout getting the better of the first few exchanges there. TC coming in onto Ethereal, and then of course Hawk getting redded out. So I think we may be seeing a top 3 potentially for Metro Wipeout.
Yeah, top 4 actually. Crash Reds him. Oh, Sanders and I think Ethereal might be first. I think Noctil or something's in first, but the rest of them are in the back.
One bagger falling off with Bill, committing to getting that box before 30. It looks to me there's
stars.
We may already see a Shock in play. I'm not really sure.
If Ethereal had it, they would have used it there, but we don't see it come out. So maybe pointing that Bobby was the one with the bill falling off. We do see a blue coming out for Crash. He's holding it, so I assume either Hawk or Faisal's in first.
Oh, that bounced off the wall actually and connected on Xander there. A little unfortunate, but now we see a 1-3-4 for Ethereal actually, considering that Crash is holding onto this blue. A wide Nana. I'm interested to see if anybody's going to hit that lap 3. Sometimes you naturally go wide to avoid back spams, so sometimes teams forget about those back spams.
Yeah,
oh, Crash.
Blue for Crash, but Crash dives off the track. But
yeah.
Not the best play you want to be doing there, because now that opens up the blue for MW.
This could open things up. Yeah, this could definitely open things up for Metro Wipeout if they do pull a blue in the middle of the pack here. But in terms of the Shock status, I think we're seeing maybe Bobby now or it's actually Roy holding on to it.
Yeah, Roy definitely had it. I think they were calling Hawk out of his Mega. But Fox dies as well, I think. Or whoever's in that star from MW.
First gets blued. I think that might have been... I still think it was an Ethereal plane getting blued there.
Yeah, I think Faisal got blued. So Crash's mistake proving to be fatal as he falls off the track while holding blue, opening up the blue.
Tanner gets... The whole fucking room dies. Wow.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, but still looking like a 2-3 coming in from Ethereal. 2, 3, 4 actually. So them making the most out of an unfortunate situation with MW getting the shock and blue lap 3, still managing to get a winning race out of it. So definitely beneficial for them.
Yeah, and that mistake there from Crash definitely cost them, of course, because MW were able to throw out that blue just in time. I mean, it was their shock, of course, but yeah, I'm trying to look back to see what exactly happened because it was a domino effect. We saw Xander getting green. It was another green that bounced off the wall. Deja vu there for coming out from Xander, and then we saw Leops actually hitting a ground item. I think that Xander dropped, and then he took the TC. Very hectic finish coming out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a +5 race for Ethereal, so extending their lead to 58 going into the last GP. So a pretty sizable lead for them. Looking strong, looking like the Ethereal lead, new in spring split. Bobby doing a really good job. You have to shout out Bobby. Even though MW got the shock there, Ethereal's probably gotten at least 6 out of 8 shocks. I think the only tracks that they got MW have gotten shock on were Sherbert Lane and KC. So Bobby doing a really good job getting the shocks while also getting like every single bagger point, if not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he's gotten every bagger point. So
bagger points can be important. I mean, we saw that WZ against was it WZ against Ethereal? I think no, it was a match that the team lost by 2. No, sorry, WZ versus AV in week 2. It was Skyleaf getting 2 bagger points, Matt getting 10. And Avail clutched that out by 2, so it can make the difference.
Yeah, like I think because in the match you casted last week with EXO and EA, they were able to clutch out the race just because Tiers got 9th on TF. So bagger points do mean a lot, but in this case where you're up 60, 58, doesn't really matter that much. But them getting shock is still really good for them. Every race, consistently getting shock. So even if they're runners and they make mistakes, like we saw Crash making a lot of mistakes that race, or other runners potentially making mistakes, they're able to make up for it with dodging up at the end and getting consistently winning races.
Mm-hmm. So now we see, let's see, it's a 58-point deficit for Metro Wipeout. I mean, there's still a lot of Mario Kart left, 4 races to go. If they can get their track pick, it can be a good start. Mushroom Gorge is kind of 50-50. I don't think it favors either team, but Ethereal confident in it, but it does come out with DKM here.
Yeah, really beneficial DKM track. I mean, not very beneficial MW track, my mistake. They definitely like this track a lot. We see them pick it pretty much every war. Leops and actually their whole lineup really is proficient at it running wise. So we could definitely see a big MW race here, potentially going to turn the tide of the war going into the last 3 races. So we see Crash running out in second, Fox holding on to green, potentially trying to back. We see Leops streaming up. I mean, not streaming. I'm drafting up in a mega, flattening Crash, while also Leops getting a red on him. So it's like an early top 3 coming in from MW.
You know, I was wondering if that was the play or not, because if he didn't get the draft, then I don't think he would have caught up to Crash unless Crash took a bad line. But Leops gets the draft anyway, gets Crash out of 3rd there after the mega. So yeah, good play there from Leops. I think he was confident that he was going to get that draft. Now we see very good spots here. Top 2-4, I believe, from MW. Actually, no, it's a 1-3, 1-3-4 actually. Xander trying to schlag Hawk though, but Hawk had the bill there.
Yeah, good information for Bobby. Bobby probably would have been hitting boxes there 9th, knowing that Hawk had the bill. But
I like the idea.
Still sitting there. Both baggers still sitting there, showing that really no one has shock.
I like the idea though, coming out from Xander, because it's a very tough spot to maneuver around, and if you don't have the bill there, anything to protect yourself with, you are almost bound to getting started off there. But it looks to me like Ethereal now are occupying, I believe, either 3-4-5 or 2-4-5. Actually, we do see Barney in 3rd.
3-4-5. I also think Ethereal might have pulled another blue. We just see a blue coming out there. There's another blue, but that gets powered out immediately. But I do think Leops or Fox got blued there. So
actually, do we see Crash? No.
Ooh, that's
do we see first being occupied from Ethereal? Because it is a 2-3 for Metro Wipeout. It's either top 3 for MW or only a 2-3.
Yeah, we do see a 5-6-8, 5-6-7 for Ethereal. So MW definitely holding those top spots. It'll be interesting to see.
Leops, Fox. It's a top 3 for Metro Wipeout. Actually, here we go. A bill pull for Crash, though. Actually, not really the best spot to pull it, because if you use your bill here, you're going to go around the cut. So it's not going to save too much time. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. Maybe we're going to see a shock late for Ethereal. I'm not entirely sure here.
It looks like both baggers are still sitting at the
Leops
set,
died.
so no one might not have it. I don't know why I said that. No one might have it. We see Crash uses Bill at the end, gonna be getting 5th. It does look like a pretty good MW race though, potentially a top 2. We do see Xanders and Leops actually getting 7-8, I think. So
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Leops because he was up there. I think he might have gotten blued, and then he maybe hit the boulder or something along those lines. I'm trying to look back to see exactly what happened there.
yeah, so Ethereal again making a good, like getting good spots out of a pretty bad situation going into lap 3. I'm pretty sure MW at least had top 3 going into lap 3, and they're able to get a pretty even race out of it. It'll be interesting to see who finishes in the top. Yeah, 1-3. I can't even see the spots. Flipping through it too fast. I think it was like
Can't
a 1-3.
confirm.
5-6 for Ethereal.
Yeah, can't confirm it was Leops that got blued in the end there, and I think he either got backed right after or he hit the boulder. It was one of those two, but
My chat might need to help out because he flipped through it too fast. I think it was a 2-4-5-6-9 for Ethereal. Yeah, okay. I was rewatching the VOD to make sure. Yeah, 2-4-5-6-9, so +1 race for Ethereal.
wow.
So they're going to be up 59 going into their 3 races left.
That's a hell of a salvage, and it has been a slightly altered blue count so far for Ethereal, so that's kind of what's solidifying it for them. But they're gonna take whatever they can get here.
Yeah, they're opting for MG, potentially the worst track in the game, and it does get picked. So definitely another dice roll track. Be interesting to see if Bobby can clutch a shock. But we'll see. Like this, I don't know. There's not really a set strategy for teams in this track. It's kind of just like get shrooms or run and just see what happens by lap 3. But yeah, we'll see if Crash can pull some shrooms here in the beginning. He narrowly missed a draft on Faisal. Gonna pull box in 3rd, pull the shroom. Probably the best item he could have pulled there. Probably gonna be opting to hold this until gap. We see Barney try to back him with the green, narrowly misses out. Faisal still holding down 1st. I think. Oh yeah, Barney gets in 3rd, pulls a red, gets him out of 3rd. Has to burn a shroom because he
missed the startup boost. Yeah, now he's gonna opt to go for left path to try to get a better chance of getting another shroom. But if he doesn't pull, okay, triple shrooms Crash. Okay, I see you.
Yeah. Getting the items, getting the items they need when they need it. Gonna be in a really good spot here. Hawk really bumps him though, so forced to burn both of his shrooms. But look at top 2 coming in for Ethereal.
Yeah, Crash maybe could have held on to one of those, but I think he was trying to get into a box, maybe to get protection or something along those lines, but misses the box altogether. Now we see Fox trying to get up into, trying to snipe Hawk out of 1st, doesn't connect with the greens.
Yeah, we do see Bobby in 10, so potentially an Ethereal shock coming here. We see Roy sitting at those boost ramps
Good
where
work
the
from
boxes
Ball.
are.
Oh, airtime.
Oh, he somehow survives. That could have been very devastating, especially if he got that respawn.
The trail from Barney landed on top of Crash, and Crash just went flying Tony Hawk style.
I think MW might have the shock here. We see Bobby fall off with Bill in 10, so shock can be huge here for MW. We do see also a lot of Ethereal members, potentially 5, 6, 7 for Ethereal, so not what you want to see.
Yeah.
I think Fox, who's ever in 8th, I can't tell who's in 8th right now. They might be holding a star. We see Nafla go into an Omega. They can't tell any potential shock coming in for MW. We see Crash pull of. I'd like to see a shock here. Yeah, TS.
Yeah, 2 of you. I think no, one of Ethereal made the gap actually. The other one got TS though, so it's gonna be I think a bottom 2 now. No, Barney actually. Was that a TC actually that came in for?
Yeah, Barney got TC'd.
Yeah. Going back to the lap 2 moment that happened. Where's Kevin Harlan when you need him to be like, oh, we just saw a man fly.
J.I. Smith, we just saw a man fly.
Or Kevin Harlan would have been like just going crazy over that posterized dunk from Barney there.
So it looks like still a pretty successful race for MW. They get presumably a top 2, 5, 7, 9. So that's gonna be a +13 race for them, cutting the deficit down to 46 with 2 left.
Okay, not that bad. I mean, for MW, you wished it could have been more, but still a start. I mean, they're starting off in decent spots here. If they can get a track pick and maybe run away with it. Maple Treeway has not been picked yet, has it?
No, but Yeah, I think either Maple Treeway or Moonview Highway would be a pretty beneficial pick for MW. It'll be interesting to see with what Ethereal opt for. They're hovering over the special cut. Maybe some, I would say like Delfino potentially is a good pick for them.
Yeah, but the third is occupied from Ethereal, so maybe MT is not the best option because third can hop and cut. There's a myriad of possibilities here for Metro Wipeout though. Starting off in top 2, just pick a track in which top 2 are comfortable running at.
I think Moonview is a good pick for MW. He's gonna random. We'll see what it picks. Pick Shy Guy Beach. Not the worst for them. The rest of them opt for Delfino.
Yeah, Crash is confident. I mean, his item luck has been fairly good so far. He's confident, but we see a Maple Treeway coming out here. Interesting. Even though they are only top 2 and third being occupied for Ethereal here, I find this an interesting pick. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of MW members are quite proficient at Maple Treeway, so they're probably gonna hold their top 2 at least until Cannon. I'd like to see some backspam coming out from second to get these top 2 break away and just get a good run going. Shock is also going to be really important on this track as the cannon dodge is quite powerful on lap 3. So the backing battle is also going to be very important in this race. We see we see Crash taking a nice jack shot there, getting into third, but top 2 still being secured from MW. Bomb coming in for Crash, maybe gonna try to snipe these top 2 from MW. Probably gonna hit Xander there. So good snipe from him. Still looks like a top 2 as Fox streams up into second. So,
yeah, there's been a lot of spots changing hands so far. We see Crash trying to secure a mid spot item there. Does pull a Mega anyway. Yeah, he was trying to get maybe either a blue or a Mega there. Blue was just in play there. It was about 32 seconds, but he's going to be holding on to this. And in terms of the bagging battle, one of the baggers was able to get 1 box in 10th. I don't think he ends up getting the shock in the end unless he's trying to play mind games. We'll see.
Yeah, we do see both baggers sitting at the set, showing that no one has shock. I think Leops is still holding down first for MW. Fox holding down fourth. We see him pull out Fox pull out triple greens. Probably gonna try to schlag these
Ooh, I like
members.
that back.
Yeah, good back spam from Fox there. So we do see Crash fall down to last. We do see also Xander getting hit by presumably some sort of shell. We see Roy billing up, showing that Bobby might have the shock. Which
he does, 100% has the shock. He already ran forward. So we may see some spots changing hands here.
Yeah, Ethereal opting to use her Mega there, using a pretty unconventional shock, dodging Crash in his Mega, change of gold into the perfect item chain that he can get. He's probably going to get into first. We do see a top 3 coming in from Ethereal.
Oh, Noctil gets sniped out immediately.
Yeah, so it's still a top 2 for Ethereal. That shock benefiting them greatly, using an unconventional, unpredictable shock, getting them into top 2 with, I think, also Faisal or one of them's in fourth. Also, Bobby's still in 10th because Roy built up earlier, so potentially a second shot coming in from Ethereal at the very end, which should give them a huge race here and close the doors.
Leops gets hit with that back by Crash. I thought maybe the red would have fallen off eventually, but Blue comes in.
Yeah, so Blue comes in, gets Faisal out of first. Still a top 2 though for Ethereal. Looks like Hawk's also in fourth, so this could be curtains for MW if Ethereal managed to hold on to these spots. We do see a shot coming at the very end. We see 2 players dodging in the back. This could be huge for MW if this is their shock. We do see Barney coming up, Blue also coming out. This is huge for MW.
Crash could have swerved there actually to maybe hit Barney, but opts not to.
You see MW at least hitting 2-4, so this is actually a really good race for them.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to the shock, it was an unpredictable shock, and I mean, Ethereal were top 2, right? I mean, you could have seen Ethereal maybe go for a cannon dodge top 2. Shocking there that early does open up an opportunity for the other team to pull a second shock.
Yeah, it looks like Roy did pull the shock. They also pulled the blue, potentially a top 3 coming in from MW. This is exactly what they need to make this last race interesting and potentially pull out a win against Ethereal here. We'll see what the spots. Yeah, top 3 state 9 coming in for MW. I think that's potentially a plus 17 race from MW.
Big. Yes, that is big. And I found it interesting too that Crash, he was getting blued and he was small. So Xander was actually catching up to his tail. So I think it would have been nice for him. Barney went middle path. So in that case for Crash, just swerve and try to get Barney out. But I don't think Crash was cognizant of that. So it's a top 3 now going into last race here. Metro Wipeout finally getting those races that he needed.
Yeah, so it's a plus 19 race coming in for MW. So they're only down. Let me do math. 46 minus 19. I think they're only down 25.
Definitely salvageable. If it's only 25, yes, definitely salvageable here. DDR comes out from Ethereal, considering they are, I mean, MW are top 3, so definitely a bold pick coming out here. If Metro Wipeout can make the Sandhop consistently and whatnot, I think this may backfire.
Yeah, they get their RBC pick. Interesting since 4th is taken up by Ethereal, but MW have confidence in their running power, so they're going to be able to hopefully be able to keep these top 3 spots, and I can see a lot of Axiom coming out and potentially extend their lead at the very beginning. So they're down 27. So to win this, I think a top 3, 5, 9 is plus 27.
Yes, I like, yeah, that is going to be the case. I like that from Crash, throwing out that green right away and actually throwing it to the left there and connecting. Sometimes it can be hard to snipe people if you don't have the alignment, and Crash just kind of threw it out of his alignment there, but does connect. Still Xander in first here. I'm interested to see what he's going to do with this. Maybe hold this Nana up until a certain section. Opts to back it out on the second mini turbo there. Yeah, he does have protection anyway. Does have a green.
Close green coming in from Crash. We do see a 2-3-4 come up from Ethereal. So Xander's a lone wolf for MW right now. We do see, I think that's Hawk with 2 greens in third, potentially going to try to shellac some of these MW members. Xander not blocking rail, giving Crash the green light to go for rail. We see a red coming in, and Xander might be holding a fib.
This is bad. Yep, this is bad. Oh no, he did have protection anyway.
We do see Roy in 10th for MW. Ops used a shock there, actually. So Roy's also going to be able to stay in 10th, potentially going to be able to get a second shock from MW. It's a really heads-up play from MW. Having confidence in Roy, being able to get another shock. So an early top
that's
2
what you need to do.
MW.
Yes, that's what you need to do. If you're in 10th and you're only occupying first in that case down by this margin, that's absolutely the play.
Yeah, so we do see, I think, yeah, so...
4-5, though, for Ethereal.
Yeah, so one bagger's falling off in last. I think Bobby is sitting there at the first set, chaining boxes in 9th.
This is fine though for Metro Wipeout because I mean 3-4-5 for Ethereal. MW can start backing their life, and then MW can come up like at the very end with stars and goldens. But it doesn't look to me like any of Ethereal get backed yet. I would like to see some double backs here. Back a fib tight if you're Xander, and then back a green wide if you're Barney. Let's see.
Yeah, we see a green coming out from Barney as you predicted. Nearly misses out on Crash. Another red coming out from Barney. A lot of backspam coming out here. Roy, I think Roy has shock. He's sitting in the corner there, not using any items. So this could definitely be a good...
Leops gets hit with a ground item after dodging in a mega there.
Yeah, it's a really unfortunate from MW. We'll see who else is coming up. We do see Leops coming up into third. Crash shrooms away to maintain his third place position. A nice bomb coming out. Also hitting Barney though. Basil shooting up into third. Barney needs to get third, or MW are gonna have no chance of winning this.
Barney getting hit in the crossfire though, that's curtains. I thought we might have seen a very good race for MW there, but Barney gets caught in the crossfire. I think we may see Ethereal barely crawling past the finish line here.
Yeah, it's gonna be Leops fails to rail on the line as well, so actually probably gonna be a pretty positive race for Ethereal. I think they might have gotten like 2-3-5 or something.
Yeah,
so definitely not bad for them. Being resilient, as MW did pull 2 shocks, being resilient, keeping their heads up and managing to get a winning race in the end.
And I'm trying to see whose bomb was that. I'm pretty sure it was still an MW bomb, but we might have seen Barney maybe goldening up, or I mean not goldening up, shrooming up there. No, Barney was ahead actually. Barney was ahead of Crash there, and it was just a lag shield. I thought Barney might have escaped that, but he's probably using Ethernet or something. It was a bomb snipe coming out from Leops, I believe. So yeah, Barney getting hit in that. Unfortunate.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, I think 8 coming in for Ethereal. So
yep.
Nevertheless, winning race for them in the end, clutching out a huge win for Ethereal, keeping their top 3 hopes alive.
And that, yeah, they secured a 3rd seed with that win. And if you're Metro Wipeout here, just shake it off. You already still got 1st seed in the group. I don't know if they still secure 1st in the leaderboard overall. It depends on the CP, because I know that Ethereal were 1st in the leaderboard, and Metro Wipeout were 3rd, I believe, Avail 2nd. So I think we may still see a 1st overall in the leaderboard for Ethereal. I'm still not sure. We have to get the confirmation on that after the league ends, or the group stage at the very least ends. But Yeah, Ethereal wiping away those 2 losses that they suffered in weeks 3 and 4 respectively, and getting the win today against Metro Wipeout.
Yeah, definitely a good show of resilience from Ethereal after coming off a rough loss against Wallywogs, one of the lower place teams in the division. Keeping their heads high and beating the top place team in the division by a pretty comfortable amount. It was pretty convincing without Jeff either, without their star player, be able to beat MW quite convincingly and proving that they're still one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, and no, to confirm, yeah, Ethereal did secure 3rd seed, but if it depends on the result from Kinatola Gaming and Charge Brigade. If KG beats CB, they're gonna tie with Ethereal for 2nd seed, but KG will win out because KG, remember, did defeat Ethereal by 100-odd points. So Ethereal are gonna have to depend on CB to beat Kinatola Gaming for Ethereal to get 2nd seed, but KG have been on a tear as of late, so it's going to be a tall task, certainly, for CB.
Yeah, so definitely exciting match at the end, though. MW almost clutching it out with a really close race at the end. I think bagging-wise, Bobby, definitely got to shout Bobby, did a really good job consistently getting shocks, but Roy also making close in the end, getting 2 clutch shocks getting a clutch shock at the end of Maple Treeway, clutching out a really good race for them, and then getting 2 shocks on the last race in RBC. Unfortunately, not enough for MW to win this match, but good showing for both baggers overall. Good showing for most runners overall. Didn't see many mistakes coming out from either team. You could argue that Ethereal got kind of lucky with Blues, especially near the end there, but nevertheless, they still did a good job securing shock, holding their dodges, and having good communicated unconventional shocks, like the shock on CM and on Maple Treeway, both like end of lap 2, not the most conventional spot, but working out for them, getting them in the top spots and just helping them a lot.
Indeed. And yeah, some of these shocks from Ethereal really drastically changed the races around. Notably in it was Maple Treeway actually, the first shock. I mean, they did end up getting top 3'd by MW, so that's a very poor example. But a lot of Ethereal shocks were to change the spots around. If they were in mid spots or their bottom spots, they used the shocks to catch back up. And yeah, Ethereal were just able to clutch it out in the end. I know the blue count did favor Ethereal in the end, but it was still good resilience from them to be able to shake off that top 3 in Maple Treeway and be able to clutch out a win in the last race to be able to secure the win. And yeah, I mean, that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for coming along. And we will be casting tomorrow L7 versus VC, battle for 1st seed in Division 3. And then we are going to probably be highlighting the Mo versus IF match on YouTube, because that's going to be for 3rd and 4th seed respectively as well. But yeah, VC versus L7 tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Stay tuned for that. On behalf of MK Boards, I'm Jaggy.
And I'm Jack.
See you guys tomorrow.